Man, this game is insane. Welcome crew, I just wanted to give you a quick pre-game chat and warning. This game does go for a very long time. Like, we go down to time in this Usopp match. Usopp sees every card in his deck. I think it's one worth sticking around for. The Usopp build is different. It's going for hard KO. If you make it to the end, I will show you what deck they're using, and I'll run through my deck at the same time. So this video is going to go for quite some time as a whole, but just stick around for the parts that you're interested in. Usopp. All right. I'm really loving this event, gotta say. Really good. Let's just keep this. I'm gonna ditch the Hawkins. I think they do bounce more than KO, so Hawkins doesn't have his value, which he usually would. Although they... No, we'll have a think. Let's have a look at what we get next turn. I do love having Rosinante and 2 events. It's a really good feeling when you see that. Current deck list is running 12 events. It's huge. I've never had a deck with so many events in it. But Rosinante is a champ, and if you can use his on play to draw 2, it really helps just curate that hand to... We just lost our... Oh, let's put a blocker back, shall we? Really just helps curate the hand, particularly to get these big mums, which we can't search for in this deck. Alright, what are we going to do? We will ditch the Burley, and we're going to make sure we take a life here. Cool. The key to beating Usopp is to go hard on their life early. They defend life really well, and the longer the game goes out, they get their Frankie out. Frankie turns into a Barto. It just sort of extends, and they're just able to defend their life so well. So getting those early hits is vital. You send a 6k at them, they're just going to counter out every time. Now what do? We will not go too low here. I feel Frankie's coming on. I think he's 4. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Now we can do 1, use this event, or ditch this event. I might hold on to that and use it. So we'll give them their Barto in hand. They might... The other thing they tend to do is defend with the Barto, then take the hit. 7... We don't need to trash anything. Ooh, okay. Got the Man Cherry, maybe to get this back. I'm just gonna swing at it. Take that, Man Cherry. Do this, ditch us, and end turn, getting 2 back. I'll probably send one of these into Relay, but I feel like just stopping this Rebecca coming back, or any of these. I don't like that. don't like that. Do I just use it? Nah, that's just silly. Right. Very nasty. This guy has got to go. Gotta go. I think Rebecca's best. I'm gonna use... I mean, I can do this two ways, right? Let's use Nami. 1, 2, 3, 4. We use Nami, we hold 2 for this. We've got 3. We send 3 straight at Usopp, and then we will KO this. Give -2, then place 1 card from your deck into the trash. That's fine. I'm gonna do that. This is good. This is good. Expecting that. That's all good. And then we'll get rid of Sulman here. Brook is scary as well, though. I think we'll get rid of Brook. And I miscounted because we're only on 9 Don. Not 10. 5 and 3 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Doesn't work when you're at 9 Don. Which is a shame, because I would have liked to have rearranged this life, known what it is, may have been able to then just play the Kaido Linlin. Wiping their board in 1 hit will only give him 1 card. And I haven't really seen a KO version of Usopp yet, so this is pretty cool. I do like it. And we're down to 0, so I imagine we are likely to see a Brook KOing Nami. We're going to KO this. We're going to take this so we can use our Yamato. And we can't defend it either. I might... It's not worth returning anything here. And here comes Brook. Very nice. Seems like a really good Usopp player. Down to 1. We KO this, swing into Brook, have 1 up, or swing into Sulman, have 1 up. And this just brings something back. So maybe we swing into Mancherry. Yeah, okay. Back up. It's +1. Whoops. Go here. We'll swing in at Brook. Expected, and I would expect Mancherry to bring this one back now. And it didn't matter what we aimed at. If we aimed at Mancherry, they probably would have just taken it. But you know, they could have blocked with Rebecca and then brought Rebecca back. So Man, Sherry, Rebecca are a crazy pair. I think since Doflamingo's gone, I kind of respect these black decks. I felt like Dofi had very complicated play. Yeah, it wasn't an easy deck to play. I did enjoy it. With that sort of gone, that complicated play is gone without the Jinbeis. I think black is sort of the only deck that remains with those complex combos. But it's any black deck, you know, you see it in Lucci, you're seeing it in Usopp right now. What are some of the other ones? Moria, I believe, is doing some funky things at the moment. It's, yeah, quite enticing. I feel like it's a really good time to be in One Piece. The meta is very diverse and enjoyable. What are you guys playing in EB02? Going for Robin? Are you trying out a few decks? Is this a time that you're trying out decks prepping for OP11? It's kind of crazy that we're about to get EB02 in the upcoming days, and you know, we're a month away from OP11. Yeah, I find these extra booster drops are a very odd time. You get so much, you don't really get the time to explore the extra cards that much. I find if it's just a structure deck, it's not too bad. Now I think we need to defend ourselves here. And without having Rosinante, these cards are dead. They don't have the attackers right now. So we could do this one of two ways, right? We could attack in here. I don't know if they're going to block with Frankie. Yep. What's Frankie bring up? Okay. Going for some negging, yeah? And there's not too much we can do about it. I think we need to go. I was contemplating playing this, but I don't think that's going to work out for us. But we could try. No, they're gonna just block that out. What's he? 6. I think we're just gonna remove. This one is too much of a pain. Being too painful here. So we'll get rid of a dead card. Gain a life. That was the wrong one. But hey, he's a threat, right? And then we will go for Sulman. None to trash. Rebecca. Expected. This is, we're at turn 7, right? they've got 7 cards in hand and 4 life and characters on the board. That's quite insane, right? Very powerful. I really like the direction that they've taken this Usopp deck. So we're facing 2 attacks. We might get out of 1. I imagine they're going to try and neg this down. Maybe swing into the other? Nah, that'd be crazy. Okay. What else they got here? I wonder if they run Jacks or Kaidos. But man, they could do some pounding with Kong Luffy right now. We got more than 14 in there. Discard pile. It's just insane. They've got 17 cards left in their deck versus our 32. You know, we're going at a fairly steady pace with our deck. We did use the Rosinante to draw 1. I think that's the only extra draw we've really gotten from our deck in this game. Yeah, can't see anything else. We didn't use this. We didn't get Nummy's effect off. I mean, we did use a Big Mum, so that's another card. So 34, it's like, yeah. They've taken twice the amount of cards, pretty much. Or, you know, half the deck more than us, rather. Rebecca's continue to haunt me. Silman on play. Still need another 2, right? I'm not taking this one. Bam. Zorroed. Alright. What's our play? I'm feeling like we're just going to play it right. We're going to attack a Sorman and then attack a Mancherry. I don't think Rebecca's going to block this one. I don't think she's going to block Mancherry either. And I don't think they can go for game. Okay, they did. This is me saying I've had enough. I've had enough of Rebecca. You can Kong me if you want. No, they're just going to neg me down. I'm smiling because I'm impressed. Usopp and his bag of tricks. Gonna have to check out their deck list after this, just to see what they're actually running here. Might give it a try myself. it's very enticing. Usopp is known for just having these large hands and defending his life, and if you combine that with being able to level the opponent's board, I mean, the games would go forever. In a tournament situation, that would be taxing, but my deck with Robin is already quite a taxing deck in terms of the games go for a long time. But you get used to that. Just play it more. We'll take that, see what happens. No, we'll hold on. Not quite enough counter to get out of this if they load it all up, but I think they're still trying to work out how to take this one down. Now what's Zoro? KO a 4 cost or less, so he only needs to neg 1 and drop a Zoro, and I'm confident he can do that quite easily. Yeah, particularly when you can Rebecca out Brook or Sulman. Drop the Zoro to KO this. Yeah. We won't take this one. Yeah. 12 cards left. The Kong has got to be coming, right? The Kong is coming. I think I might use this next turn. I might use Nami here. KO a Zoro. Swing in to a Sulman. Swing into a Mancherry. Okay. Swing in, yeah, swing into Mancherry. We don't need to do that. What do I life up? And do that next turn. They can't swing in. Oh, they can swing in. They can swing in. So we'll neg both of these. And that way we don't lose our... I think that is a good play. Do that one. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. Happy to use 2 on this turn. So if they attack with Sulman, I'll do a neg 3, neg 3. I don't want the second Sulman swinging. What turn? We're on turn 9. Wow. They've got 11 cards left in their deck. Wow. Wowzers. I said I'm not taking, right? Okay. We'll get rid of a Sulman, I guess. Let's do one more. Is it worth it? Yeah. Yeah, it's worth it. For sure, it's worth it. Because they'll just neg me down otherwise. Kong has got to be coming because there is a risk to them that they could deck out. I think that'd be insane if they decked out. Well, they've only got 3-4 minutes left as well. It just goes to show the brain tax this deck will take. Take this one. Ooh, nice. Okay, they're trying to close things off a little bit. What do we got? This could be cool. I might go for this here. They protect it, we can swing in with Robin. If not, we can just go in here and we will use this. I think we hold on and we're gonna see if we can deck this guy out. 7 left. And every time if you have 5 or less in your card, draw 1 card. 5 or less, they have to. It doesn't say up to. If you have 5 or less in your hand, draw 1 card. Bam. Look at that power. Okay, we're taking that. Surprised they didn't go in here. They're just trying to close this game off. They do not want it to go any longer. They're going to swing 2 into us. I think we reserve these. Kong could be coming. I can't remove this from field, unfortunately, because that would be so cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might leave 4 up. This one's gonna hit. Not trashing anything. And then we're gonna swing here and turn. They're gonna try and close out here. 5 and 5. We got this covered though. Five cards left. Alright, playing something out. No Kong. I'm going to drop this. And we've got 1. Cool. I might even play that next turn. And we're going to remove this one. Oh, thank you. Guess we're not playing it. We're going to remove this one, which will draw them a card. I'm going to see what this gives us. What can we grab here, which is lovely? Let's do Rosinante. I'm gonna drop Hina. Draw you a card. They didn't draw a card. Oh, it's not Dressrosa, that's why. Okay, silly me. 5 here, we'll leave 1 up. So 5, I'll just play it, shall I? We could. No, I think we need our health. Alright. Goodbye, Brook. End turn, put 2 up. Alright, we got 4. In case this is like a Flame Emperor or Judgment, got something we can use here. Bye, Rosinante. They're coming in hot. Next one's another 11. Let's see what we got. Use trigger, of course. This is a Dressrosa type as well. Very nice, but we can, unfortunately for you, clear that. Now, we're going to... Man, this game is insane. Swing in here, not trashing anything, but Yamato, no targets, we gain a life. You got Rush. This has got to be one of the longest games ever. And they got 1 card left. They have 1 card left in hand. 1 card left in deck, 2 in hand. I'm guessing that they're not running the Kong Luffy. Otherwise they would have closed it out last game. 3 standing here. I mean, it's quite thrilling. We got nothing. We take this. No. Oh, and they've put 2 back into their deck through Manchuri's effect. Nice little play there. However, you can't get through this. You cannot get through this. We swing 6 here. And we put 2 on each of those as well, and we call it a game. Yeah. What a game that was. I honestly thought they were going to deck out then. They had these 2 cards left. If they hadn't used the Manchuri effect, they would have decked out. That's how crazy that game was. I didn't take note of how many we had left here. We've got 24 in our trash. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, that's 28. So we would have had 22 cards left in our deck versus their 2. Anyway, crazy game. I'm sure you didn't stick around to the end. If you did, what's the longest game you've ever done? What did you use and what did you verse? Let me know down in the comments. Great to have you here this long. Until next time, look after yourselves and look after your decks. So they've got the Usopp leader. They're running 4 of the Leos here. What's that? 3 Brooks? It only looks like 3 Brooks that they're running. Interesting. 4 of the Suleiman. He put in a lot of work in that game. 4 Bartos. The Barto Frankie combo makes sense. Surprisingly, they've only got 2 of the Frankies though, and 4 Bartos. I guess the Barto doubles up as a 2k. Running the Rebecca Searches, 2 of 4 of the One-Legged Soldier, which also did its fair share of damage to me. Also playing as a 2k counter. Pretty cool the way the deck operates, being able to draw back from the trash, so you can use your 2k counter and then bring it back onto the field to get that -3 effect anyway. Running 2 Manchuris, I feel like this is a great number. If you see it early, you are prime. They've got so many, I mean, they go through their deck so quick anyway, that having low number counts in this deck, I couldn't imagine being a disadvantage. They saw all of their cards, like they were down to 1 before they went back up. So I think 2 is a good number. Rebecca put in a lot of work, so 4 of Rebecca makes huge sense. And yeah, as we've talked about, Frankie blocker into Barto is the prime combo here. I do think they used Frankie into a one-legged soldier at one point though, which was also good. That was a nice combo. This Zoro goes hard. Cool artwork as well. Really like this one. It worked well in their deck. It's Dressrosa as well, which I did forget about. Really good. Running 3 of the Hinas here, or is that 4? It looks like only 3 Hinas that they're running. 4 of the Houndblaze, I think we faced that once. So must have discarded the other ones. The Gravity Blade came in clutch as well. I'm guessing they're going for an all-round neg the board and control it down with Gravity Blades as an option when they're not just outright KOing. Tempest Kick came in handy, I believe, once, and 3 of the Colosseums must have. If I was them, I probably, I mean, I don't know if they needed the Luffy, the Kong Gun Luffy. If they had it, they would have won that game for sure. I was on the back foot the whole time, just holding on. Robin does well holding on. I've got a strong life build deck here, and I'm just able to take out their board and build at the same time. So if I can get ahead of the curve, I can dominate. If I don't get ahead of the curve, I can just maintain. And in this instance, I was able to capitalize on that. I'd like to say they ran out of gas, but they didn't run out of gas really. Not until, what was that, turn, I don't know what turn we got up to. Was it turn 14? Who knows? I'll have a look and I'll put that on the screen as well. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the deck I have and some of the choices I've made within this deck. So Robin, of course, she is an amazing leader. I think she'll continue to get strong. She's very versatile in how you build her. I'm primarily aiming for my overall strategy is to go wide with 9Ks. And the way I do that is healing and controlling their board, removing their board. So this Lin is, I guess, in essence, what my deck is about. I heal, I remove their board, and I put down a 9K. So I've got 4 of her for that reason. Another one that I've got in here is 2 Yamatos. Yamato I like to play after I play a Lin or 2, because I'm healing my life, I'm also healing their life, making Yamato able to hit big targets quite easily. So also in there for that same type of strategy. Now this go wide with 9Ks works well against these aggro decks. It works well against decks that are trying to play 9K bodies or under. It doesn't work well for decks that are playing 10 costs down, like Shanks does. And this is the reason why I've added in the Kaido Lin. Kaido Lin can take care of these big boards quite effectively. Now Lin does have that, I think it's a well-known combo now. Playing out the Hawkins, I can play out the Kaido Lin. I use the attack, when attacking effect on my next turn. So I've got 10 Don I can use on that turn, which allows me to play out 2 of these, or I might play out 1 Hawkins, 1 Robin. So if they're at 3 life, play a Robin, they're down to 2, play a Hawkins, that's going to get rid of 1, Kaido's going to get rid of 1, then they need to defend a swing. So quite easy from that 3 life point to close the game, which is pretty effective against Shanks. Now, the thing that's changed the deck the most recently is Rosinante. I feel like he is very underrated in what he can do. His on-play effect, you trash an event and you draw 2 cards. It just helps get that hand to be the hand that's most desirable. And because I'm not playing out searches to help me find these bodies, the big bodies I need, having all these little advantages that like this to cycle some cards is exactly what this deck needs to be able to survive. As I've said, this deck that I'm running, it's a deck that does try to survive, and having events really helps that process. So let's talk about my events for a second. I am running 12 events in this deck. The new one I've just put in, I've put in 2 of Us. This event comes out in EB02, really great for this deck because it allows me to find a 4 cost or higher and add it to my hand. And most of the deck, when I'm searching for pieces, they are all 4 cost and higher. The only thing I've got lower are my events, and then my two blockers, Brule and Shirahoshi, as well as this 1 cost Olvia. Blockers might be handy to find on occasion, but I'm trying to really play this earlier to find the pieces I need for that advantage later game. Being 2 cost does pair well with Hawkins on my 3rd turn. Usually have 6 done, so I can Hawkins and Us and go for it. Our other events that we're running is, now we've got a couple here. I'll talk Giant first because this one's obvious. -2 Don, plus 4,000, draw 2 cards, so able to cycle 3 cards again. I've got another 2 cost here, or I've got a 2 cost here. It is Flame Dragon King. Pretty cool, it adds 4,000 power as well. What it's really good for though is it allows me to look through my life and reorder it. So I'm once again able to curate my upcoming hand to the cards I want, and also play out the trigger cards to the right spot. So if Frankie's at the top, I might move him down to the second last spot. I might move a Brule down to the last spot. Things like that can make a huge difference to your game. It might also make a difference that if I know I've got a Brule in my last slot, I could play out a Kaido Lin Lin a lot more freely, knowing that if they think they're going to go for game and take the last life, I can play out this Kaido Lin Lin, let them play that out, find out there's a Brule at the bottom, and then have my next turn and swing in for the game. So this one is quite useful, and it costs 2, yes, but if I have Rosinante up, I get those 2 Don back every turn, so I can basically play it for free. Now we haven't talked about my last 2 yet. Hell's Judgment is a really good card, negs 3 from 2 opponents. Now it negs 3 from 2 opponents during this turn. This is a really key thing because during this turn means these multi-swingers that are out, like the Luffy, which we haven't talked about just yet, this Luffy wants to swing twice, and if I neg 3 from it, it becomes a 4,000 power character, which means they need to then commit Don for it to be effective, and it'll be negged for both of the swings. The cool thing when you use it on this Luffy is they have to commit to restanding it before I have the chance to respond. So they, if they're going to use the effects, they might have a 7 and they want to swing twice with it. They return 2 from their deck, restand it, then I get to play Hell's Judgment, neg 3 from it, it's now a 4 and it's restood, and essentially they can't attack with it for that second turn either. So this card goes hard. It's also really effective against the aggro decks like Betty and Zoro, because they want to swing say 1 or 2 over. No worries, I neg 3 from it, it's now not hitting me at all. And the card you've got next to it, that's not hitting me either. And lastly, we've got this one here as well. Now, Arrow is also good like Judgment because it negs for turn. It's half the cost, I don't neg a Don, and it does neg 3 from your opponent. Only requirement here is I need to have 2 or less cards in my life area to activate it. Not a hard one to pull off, especially not a hard one to pull off when you need it. Now, once again, for turn is very effective because I can, you know, play one of these, neg another thing, -3 for the turn. If it was say a 9 cost, sorry, the green one, negging 3 is not enough. That brings it down to a 6k. I might neg it down another 3. Now it's a 3k. Now we're in a territory where we're safe from 3 swings for the turn, which is pretty mind-blowing to think that this could prevent a Zoro from closing out the game. The other really good thing about this is it doesn't neg Don to be able to use it. So when I am playing all these big 9 cost bodies, I've got one left. If I'm chaining Lin after Lin, Lin negs a Don. So I play her out, I neg a Don for effect, I'm down to 9. If I am to use a Giant at this point, it brings me back down to 7, which means max I can get next turn is 9. I could play another Lin next turn, then I'm down to 8. I'm not playing out anything else that turn, so having this arrow, being able to play it first before a Giant can be really useful. Right, some of the other cards we haven't spoken about yet. Nami goes hard. She is pivotal for a lot of the games, particularly into the more aggro ones. Being able to remove those low cost buddies, I find just being able to do that once does a lot. She also has the draw effect, which comes up a lot with Robin. Robin, because I'm trashing cards from hand to ramp, I often find myself in that low card count territory. So being able to, you're effectively cycling because you're trashing a card for Nami's effect, but you're able to get one back. So it's effectively a cycle there that you might find a bigger body that you need. We have our 2k counters as well. We've got Frankie is primarily just a 2k counter. If I see him in live, that's fantastic. I have played him for his cost on occasion when I've got nothing else in hand and I just need a body on the board, but primarily he's there as a 2k or a trigger. Very effective trigger, might I add, body on the board and you replace the card in hand. Olvia is another one, 2k with a lot of utility. She's able to +3 to leader Robin. This is great for closing out games. It's also good if you trigger, say, a Robin from life and you play out this on your opponent's turn. Gives your leader +3000 on your opponent's turn. Turning Robin into an 8k out of nowhere can be enough to save you at times. So versatile, but as I said, it's a utility with 2k. Quite effective, wouldn't consider less than 4. Robin, she's down to a 2 count. She is a really great card. I'm finding more and more that I don't need to play her on curve though. I've got all these other great options on this 6 Don turn that I'd rather play a Nami to control the opponent's board, or I'd rather play a sticky body like a Hawkins on that turn, or I'd rather play a Rosinante to curate my hand and set up some defense on that turn. And then the next turn I'm playing out a Lin, so I don't find that there's much of a need for her on curve, and I'm playing her when I do on the later stage of the game. So for that reason, I only feel I need 2 in the deck. She does come up handy more often than not, being able to take that third last life away and close out the game sooner than your opponents expect. Now for sticky bodies, Hawkins can win matches. He's particularly good into Blackbeard. Blackbeard, he's able to swing into those low cost characters and stay on the board. More often than he's not, he's just left to his own devices. People don't want to lose that life, so they just leave him on board, and being a 5k that no one wants to remove, he just keeps going hard. Other sticky body is Shirahoshi. I used to run 4 of these. I've dropped it down to 2 so I could include the US event. I just feel like the consistency in the deck is more important than having that sticky blocker. She is a very useful sticky blocker. It's very hard to play around this Shirahoshi if your opponent's not blue. Last cards I haven't spoken about yet is Katakuri. He's in as a one-of. He is still searchable with us. He comes out more often than you'd think a one-of would come out, but he's really useful being able to hit an 8 cost or less. Considering decks that are prevalent at the moment, like the EB02 Luffy, the Grape Luffy, having that Sunji Pudding that gets to 7 cost, very tricky for yellow to remove. There's only 2 cards I can think of in this color combo that can get rid of that. One of them is this Katakuri, the other is an event, Ragnarok, which will KO 8 cost or less for the cost of 5. This one plays into that body, high body that I want on the board, so it plays into the game while offering a utility that the others can't. So happy to have him in as a one-of. I wouldn't want more, I wouldn't want less. And then lastly, I do have just one of these Luffys. This Luffy can come out clutch when you just want to close the game. He's the guy to do it. You need a rush, I feel, in your deck. Anyway, that's pretty much the entirety of my deck. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with where it's at. I think it probably is at a position where it could be viable in a tournament. You know, time's going to tell. It's certainly not there for OP11. That's going to require a different deck again, but for where EB02 is at, I feel like this deck is at a nice sweet spot. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Bit of a ramble. Not sure if you like going through decks like this. Let me know if you do, and I will do more of it. Until next time, look after yourselves and your decks.